Let me ask you a question. Can one person really make a difference? If your answer is no, then people like Oprah Winfrey, Dolores Huerta, and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would probably say you're wrong. History has proven time and again that one person can spark a movement. One person fighting for the improvement of the lives of many. One becomes two, two becomes 10, 10 becomes 10,000. We have an incredible show in store for you today. My guests on today's show are fighting for the betterment of our communities, wellness, and human excellence. Stay tuned. I'm your host, Robin Young, and this is In Contact.
Be informed. We gotta know what's going on in our community. So together we can make a change, you and me.
Our first guest is a social entrepreneur using her creativity to be a light for activism. She was born in Mexico, and her childhood was spent in the U.S. as an undocumented immigrant. Now a DACA recipient, she fights for economic justice, immigration reform, and the LGBTQ rights. Please welcome Samantha Ramirez Herrera. Welcome, Ms. Sam Ramirez Herrera, to the couch at In Contact this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So tell me a little bit about yourself and you coming to America from Mexico at 7.
So I'm an entrepreneur. I consider myself a social entrepreneur. I use a lot of the work that we do in film and content creation and creative consulting to work with primarily nonprofits that are focused on changing the world.
All right. Now, you came to this country at a young age. Can you tell me a little bit about your transition here?
Yeah, so I came to America when I was 7. I came here with my family in search of a better life. My dad just wanted to bring us here to have more opportunities and to basically pursue the American dream. We were undocumented growing up and until the DACA program came into place.
Can you tell me a little bit about the DACA program and being a dreamer?
Yeah, so I basically grew up undocumented, which is a reality for a lot of people that come to America because of the immigration policies that are in place that definitely need to be reformed. They need updating, like a lot of things do. And I grew up going to school, not really realizing that I was undocumented until I got to high school. And when I got to high school, it was just like this reality that while my friends were getting driver's licenses or they were getting jobs, like good jobs and things like that, or applying for college, that was a reality that was not going to be for me. So it was like growing up like an American teen and growing up listening to Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera and doing all these like things as an American teen and realizing that you really aren't American. And now you won't have the opportunity to go to college because you can't apply if you're undocumented, you can't get a driver's license, and you can't go and get a job if you don't have a social security number.
So how did you navigate through being undocumented? What did you do?
So I ended up just working at different restaurants that sometimes hire undocumented people knowingly. I started working at restaurants, waitressing, cleaning houses with my mom, walking people's dogs, just doing any type of work labor that I could do to, help my family out, pay bills. I was 14 and I was like working at a pizza place, like helping my family pay bills. So I think that immigrants just have that hustle spirit, so we always find a way.
Can you talk to me a little bit about, the immigration policy and how it's, impacted this nation and some of your thoughts around what we can do going forward?
So when Obama came into office, he actually is the one that started the DACA program. When he started the DACA program, it was primarily for kids who were brought to America as undocumented kids without the knowledge that you were undocumented. And he wanted to create a pathway so that we could study, that we could get a driver's license and have a chance to be counted in America and to give back to America.
Like pathway to citizenship?
It wasn't a pathway to citizenship. It was a temporary status, so a protection from deportation.
Okay.
So you have to go and pay for this particular thing. You have to pay, you have to get your biometrics, you have to go through a background check, you have to check your criminal history, you have to do all of these things, and then you get a permit and prove that you've been in the US since you were a kid. And then they give you a social security number, you're able to get a driver's license. So technically you're able to be counted as someone who exists and someone who can go and apply and get a job, someone who could drive now legally, someone who can, you know, like do normal things.
Okay. So tell me, how has this, the immigration policies really impacted the communities that you are involved in?
Well, when the current administration came into place, they had reversed DACA program. So they said they were going to take it away. So for a period of time, they took the DACA program away, and the Supreme Court reinstated the program. So as of that time, everybody has been in limbo. The immigrant community has really felt under attack. There's a lot of policies that are, you know, targeting immigrants and, you know, putting a bad narrative out there about immigrant people in America. So I do see a lot of the communities living in fear. A lot of communities are in distress. You know, the whole situation with the children right now. There is like a blatant attack out on immigrants, like the Muslim ban. There's just, you know, like an attack out on the immigrant community. So there is a lot of fear, but there's also a lot of fire in the communities to keep fighting for what's right. And for most of us, it's just human rights.
Absolutely. Can you talk to me more about the initiatives and the fight for immigration and the changing of the policies? I know that even economically this is impacting various communities. Can you talk about some of the impacts that you have seen based on your nonprofit and your entrepreneurial endeavors?
Yeah, so my company is not a nonprofit, but my company, I started out doing film for music, art, things like that. As the times have changed, and with this current administration, it's like all hands on deck.
Right.
How do we use our skills and how do we use our work to bring awareness to communities that are under attack or to marginalized communities? So through our work, we do film, we do storytelling, we do content creation, and we focus on issues such as economic justice, LGBTQ people, reproductive justice, and of course, immigration reform. So I have seen and I have learned a lot about how these groups of society that are marginalized, you know, are going through all of these things, but they're still standing very strong and they're always fighting for what's right. And there's hope in that.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit more about how we can get in contact with you, learn about your organization and your business so that we can create more awareness in this local Atlanta community?
Yeah, for sure. So my company's called Off the Record, and it's OFFTHARECORD, offtherecord.com. And you could see like links to our work there. You could stay up to date. We also have like a little blog where a lot of people of color, primarily young people, write very unscripted and very raw about their experiences in America. And that's where you can reach us, on offtherecord.com.
That is fantastic. So social media, we can follow you on all the major platforms. And I know that you have such passion around it. Thank you so very much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.